So this is the first video in how to cut out, rub out, and generally cut holes in objects on your Photoshop screen. The absolute crucial thing always to remember is to rasterize your layers if you want to be able to edit them. Rasterization simply allows you to edit a JPEG. If you don't rasterize it, nothing works. How you do that is very simple. If the selection here in the top of the toolbar allows you to select things, I'm going to select the blue in the layers panel. I'm going to right click on the blue in the layers panel. If I go down this long menu, I get to rasterize layer. I click that, it's now rasterized. This means simply, doesn't matter really what rasterize means technically, but in practical terms, rasterize means you can edit it. I'm going to do the same for the green, rasterize the layer. Same for the red, rasterize the layer. If I go back and click on these, you'll notice that the rasterized layer is now in a pale gray. It's no longer highlighted, which means it's been done. So these are all rasterized. This means that you can edit them. And what do I mean by that? Well, you can do anything to these. If on the layers panel, we select this rectangular marquee tool, I select that. I'm working on the blue. You notice the blue is highlighted. That means the blue is selected. I'm going to draw a rectangle, and it's got these little moving dotted lines. They're sometimes called running ants. You can see it's highlighted. That's selected. If I click Control X on the keyboard, I've cut a hole in it. And you can see the green underneath. If I move the blue around, you can see that I've cut this hole in the blue panel. And if we now select the green and do the same to the green, Control X, I've cut a hole in the green, and you can see that that is seeing what's beneath it. I could similarly do the same to the red, cut a hole in the red. I need to select the red, otherwise it won't work. And there we are, I've cut a window there. So if, for instance, I now put the green layer behind the red layer in the layers panel, do it that way around, you can see that by moving the red panel, there's the selection at the top there. You notice that everything, as soon as I hover the mouse over anything within this tools panel, it tells me what it is and gives it a little video of it being used. It's a move tool and it shows someone moving around. So I select that. I've selected the red, and you can see that it's got a window in it and it's working like that. So you can see these layers much more clearly now that they've got these little windows in them. Now, just going back to this tools bar here, in Photoshop has so many different tools that they tend to be hidden behind each other in the tools panel. We've got a rectangular marquee tool. If we right click there, it also gives me an elliptical marquee tool. That's the other one which is hidden, and you notice it's now changed in the toolbar. It's quite difficult sometimes to find the tool you want because it's hidden. Just remember that something you might want might be behind something else, because otherwise the toolbar would be too long. So if we select the blue, because that's at the top at the moment, and we use this elliptical shape here, that you can see that it's cutting out a circle or an ellipse. You can just move the cursor around, and there we are. It's actually giving you the dimensions there, so you can get pretty close to a circle just by 195. You see a pretty perfect circle there. And I select that, and that's now had a circle cut in it. And you can start experimenting with these geometric shapes. Remember, you have to select the object you want to cut out. Another way, so you can select it in the layers panel like this. I'm going to select red like that. But if blue was selected, if I move the cursor over the red object and right click it will tell me what's going on there, what's underneath my cursor. It's red and a green in the background in that order. So I want to select the red. You notice that the layers pedal selection has now jumped to there, and I'm going to cut another more elliptical shape there. And you can see that it's cut that pattern. So we now have quite distinct shapes which have these windows cut inside them. We'll now move on to the next video for a continuation of this.